How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. Ethereum developers confirm Shapella upgrade will occur April 12th. Ethereum developer said in a blog post following the 157th All-Core Devs execution layer meeting that all withdrawals of staked ETH would occur on April 12th, 2023. The upgrade is in the final stage that will allow Ethereum's proof-of-stake network validators to unstake ETH previously locked in the smart contract on Ethereum's beacon chain. The Shapella upgrade combines the changes to the Shanghai Ethereum virtual machine called Shanghai and the consensus layer called Capella. It also includes changes to the engine API that links the two layers together. In addition to enabling withdrawals, Shapella implements the following Ethereum improvement proposals. There's like 5 of them here. These are standards that designate potential features or new processes for Ethereum. So either something new for the chain to be able to do, or an improvement to a process that is already being done on the chain that can help either make things more secure or just execute quicker. And that's important, especially because Ethereum's network still suffers from low transaction throughput, and its capacity will be around 10 transactions per second. While work is underway to introduce upgrades that significantly boost transaction speeds through a process called dank sharding, Ethereum.org reveals that it will be several years before this upgrade takes place. So for several years, Ethereum's base TPS is going to be 10. Accordingly, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin predicted that in order for the medium term, the path to get faster transactions will be through rollups, so like that ZK rollup and things like that you've seen. There's a little info about ZK rollups, but we're not going to go into that. We went into that in a previous video, so you could look at the news on that. Sam Bankman-Fried charged with bribing Chinese government officials. Former CEO and founder of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, has been hit with an additional bribery charge according to a superseding indictment unsealed Tuesday. Prosecutors allege that Bankman-Fried directed $40 million in cryptocurrencies to one or more Chinese government officials in order to influence them to unfreeze accounts owned by their sister trading firm, Alameda Research. In the newly unsealed indictment, prosecutors allege that in early 2021, Bankman-Fried bribed Chinese government officials to unfreeze $1 billion worth of assets in Alameda Research trading accounts on two of China's largest cryptocurrency exchanges. The indictment alleges that the funds were frozen as part of an investigation into a particular Alameda trading counterparty, but doesn't name the exchange or firm that was being investigated. Prosecutors allege that before turning to bribery, Bankman-Fried spent months trying to access the funds. He allegedly hired attorneys to lobby the government and asked the exchange to unfreeze the funds. He also opened new trading accounts under false names. By November 2021, Bankman-Fried caused a bribery payment of cryptocurrency worth approximately $40 million to be transferred from Alameda's main trading account to a private cryptocurrency wallet, according to the court documents. Around the same time, Alameda's cryptocurrency accounts were unfrozen and the trading firm sent tens of millions more worth of crypto assets to complete the bribe. So that's about all they have on that. The rest is just about how many charges he's got. I believe it's 13 right now. CFTC lawsuit won't affect Binance's acquisition of Voyager, experts say. A lawsuit brought by a U.S. regulator against Binance Monday had instant impact on the crypto market as coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum fell, but its effect on Voyager's ongoing bankruptcy case could be more muted, numerous legal experts said. However, there's some that say it may not be muted. Binance maintains that it and Binance US are separate companies, though their closeness has been questioned multiple times. Nonetheless, Binance US solidified its place earlier this month as a potential buyer of Voyager's assets after Judge Michael Wiles approved a deal in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of New York. The roughly $1.3 billion restructuring deal is far from complete. The SEC and other regulators have opposed the deal. The U.S. Justice Department filed an appeal against Judge Wiles' ruling March 9th, and the deal was put on pause yesterday by a separate judge until the appeal is fully addressed. It's unlikely that the CFTC lawsuit will disrupt Voyager's deal with Binance US because any determination that stems from it will take quite a bit of time, likely a few months to years. Director of Regulatory Affairs at Blockchain Intelligence Group, Timothy Cradle, noted that the agency is seeking civil penalties, registration bans, and permanent injunctions, but only as it relates to Binance's derivative offerings. So they're only going after Binance's derivatives offerings, not their spot offerings. If what Binance US is purchasing from Voyager is not a derivative product, then my initial reaction is it should not affect what they're trying to do, he said. I'm only thinking that because of what the CFTC is looking for in terms of their actual penalties in this case. Additionally, a report from Bernstein said the lawsuit could eventually force Binance to shutter its operations in the US, which may end up including Binance US. Even if Judge Wiles' approval of the deal is upheld, the plan he approves makes Binance US acquisition of Voyager's assets subject to various regulatory approvals. Cherokee Acquisition Manager Vladimir Jelesovic said. I probably botched that. So basically, regulators need to approve the deal still, and if they're going after Binance, saying that Binance is operating illegally, it's unlikely they get that regulatory approval, in my opinion. He believes the deal was already likely to fall through for that reason, forcing Voyager to conduct an orderly liquidation instead of selling its assets to Binance US. So he's kind of thinking more like what I'm thinking is they'll be forced to sell and won't be able to actually get acquired. So, over on the daily here, we're still within our wedge. We did kind of peak out. Momentum's coming down, stochastic's falling down, money flow's flat, and our VWAP is coming out. So the daily, we're overall falling, not looking too strong. Money flow's the only thing barely clinging on bullish, and that RSI is starting to lose some ground now. Over on the 4 hour, you can see we're kind of getting rejected by this higher volume area. So it's likely we could make a break down to this value area low, as we don't have very much volume on our volume profile right here. So keep that in mind that if we do lose this wedge, that would be an easy move downward. We need to break above where we currently are and kind of hold and make moves up. RSI is heading down, stochastic's trying to curl, so the RSI is about to lose some more strength. Money flow is trying to bend back up, VWAP's trying to head up, and our momentum's trying to head up, but it looks like it could start to curl out if we're not careful. On the 2 hour, money flow is bearish. It tried crossing bullish, but didn't really get a strong cross, and we're just riding under that neutral zone. The momentum wave is starting to kind of round out here. Stochastic's starting to round out a bit. RSI is trying to make a move up, but if that stochastic rounds out and starts to fall, it's likely that RSI will follow suit. Over on the 1 hour, the stochastic's kind of heading down, but we could make a bullish cross, so it might get a little bit of a recovery pump here. VWAP did try to make a bearish cross, however it rejected and is slightly heading up. Money flow's been doing the same thing all day, trying to make bearish crosses. It's not really holding above that neutral area or bullish zone very strongly. So even though it's in bullish territory, I wouldn't put too much weight on it because it's not that strong of a move in the bullish territory. The money flow could easily turn bearish here and we could start to break down. So over on the graph, if we look at the daily, we're still within our triangle. Kind of trying to make a tweezer bottoms. If we get a even candle with this red candle, that'll be a tweezer bottoms, which would be a bullish sign, and that might give us a slight bullish probability if we can break this resistance and this, well, both these resistance, but the resistance line and the resistance of the pattern. But Bitcoin would need to start gaining momentum. Stochastic's trying to point upward and could make a bullish cross. RSI is heading upward. Money flow is very close to breaking bearish and looking kind of sketchy. VWAP's trying to head up. Momentum wave is trying to head up. So we're getting some conflicting signals here. Slightly bullish, but that money flow is bearish. Our money flow on the 4 hour looks like we could attempt to cross to the bullish zone soon. VWAP is heading up very strongly. Stochastic's heading up very strong. RSI is moving up pretty strong as well. Momentum's heading up pretty decently. So the 4 hour is looking pretty good right here. kind of a rounding bottom right here as well. Maybe we make a little mini cup and handle if we do take a bit of a breather. The 2 hour looks pretty much like the 4 hour, where we want to break this bearish zone and go into the bullish zone for the money flow. VWAP is starting to head down though, so our medium term could kind of counter that money flow if we don't get much volume here. Our momentum is kind of starting to round out, so that's concerning for that money flow crossing and that VWAP sustaining, as we need momentum in order for those to keep moving bullish. RSI is heading up, but we are getting a red dot that could bring us down. Our stochastic's pretty overbought at this point. So overall, we're pretty mixed on the 2 hour. Like I said, it would be possible we could make a little mini cup and handle here that could push us forward. If that happens, it would push us toward that resistance line at the top. The 1 hour money flow is slightly bullish. VWAP is heading down though, but kind of curling just above that neutral zone. So our VWAP could push up from here. Stochastic's kind of rounding out. Our momentum's starting to round out, Stochastic's rounding out too. Could fall from here. And RSI is making pretty good moves up. So the money flow has a bullish cross, but it's not a strong bullish cross, as when it crossed, it kind of just went flat. We would want to see more of an incline, kind of like right in here, but you want that incline to sustain, otherwise you'll start to fall. So over on Anchor for the daily, we are bouncing off of that point of control. That is a good sign that we could push back up. We might push back into this macro area. That's why I didn't delete this volume profile yet. Our stochastic is trying to curl. RSI is trying to curl. Money flow is trying to curl bullish. Our VWAP's trying to curl. And our momentum is kind of heading down pretty strongly. So we are getting some signs that we're trying to get a little bit of a push here. Not quite as good looking as graph, but we could get some momentum as long as we keep bullish candles. If we get rejected by this 3.2 cent area, then that'd be a rejection of this local area, and then that could be bearish, as we could come back down to the point of control and then test the value area low. Over at the 4 hour, our money flow is trying to break bullish. VWAP's heading up, Stochastic's heading up, our RSI is heading up, so 4 hours looking pretty decent for an attempt to break up. Momentum's coming up too, but it's kind of looking like it could round, so I'd be a little leery of that. 2 hour, our momentum's heading up, but a little stronger than graph, so I'll give it that, but this blue line is kind of starting to curl, so I'd watch out for that. Our stochastic's making a bullish cross, rejecting a bearish cross, but we are pretty overbought and it doesn't really have much room to move, so it could just kind of go flat here. Our RSI is heading up because we have strength here, so that is a good sign. If that momentum can come back and try another retest and break bullish, that would be positive for the 2 hour, but we do currently have that rejection and we did come down and go flat. The 1 hour, we did attempt breaking bullish twice and got rejected, so that is kind of concerning. We are kind of just flat under that neutral zone for the money flow. VWAP did try to break bearish twice, but that rejected. We are slightly bullish, so everything's kind of going flat right now. Momentum has a green dot that's printing, so that's saying we could have potential to go up. That's kind of in confluence with this green dot here that we had a couple of candles ago, so that we could get a bullish move upwards. Stochastic looks like it could make a bullish cross, and RSI is heading up, so those are at least looking pretty decent. So kind of mixed signals. Some are going flat, but a few are leaning a little more bullish. So that could be positive for our medium to higher time frame. Over on XRP, we've just mooned. Just went nuts today. And say we've invalidated this head and shoulders completely finally with that moonshot. But I'm going to leave this support area, as that was a pretty strong resistance and support area for a while. We are running into another resistance area currently. If we manage to break this area, then the next one would be about 60 cents. So if we can hold above this 50-cent area, then we could possibly move toward the 60-cent area. Momentum's heading up, stochastic's heading up, and RSI are heading up. All overbought, but that's to be expected when you make run-ups like this. VWAP isn't really running up too strongly, which is kind of odd. Our money flow didn't break bullish yet, so we could have some more upside if that does happen. 4 hour, our money flows well in the bullish zone. Stochastic looks like it's going to take a breather. RSI is getting a red dot, so it could take a breather, and momentum's kind of starting to flatten out. So it's likely we could kind of flatten out from here, maybe make a bull flag. VWAP's kind of flattening out just above that neutral zone, but is heading down and going to possibly retest the bearish zone. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic's starting to fall, RSI is starting to fall, and our momentum's starting to curl. Momentum is starting to fall, so that our money flow is starting to fall, so that's concerning. Our VWAP has done 3 tests of this neutral zone. This is going to be our 4th. So the 2 hour is looking very toppy, as we could just fall from here at any moment. That VWAP you'd want it to kind of cross up and sustain like we've seen in other rallies. Over on the 1 hour, we've been just going up, down, up, down, up, down with our VWAP. Money flow is kind of inching out now. We did get a slight turn up just back here, but since this slight run up from there, we've been losing money flow. Momentum's starting to head down, stochastic and RSI are heading down, and the momentum has a red dot on it. So overall, the 1 hour looks like we could start to fall from here, and the 2 hours not looking very much better. Over on algo, we're bouncing off our value area low. Our stochastic looks like it could curl. Our RSI is trying to get a bounce here. Our money flow is starting to fall out still, so that's concerning. VWAP's kind of flat here, so hopefully that rounds up and comes up. Our momentum is coming down. Over on the 4 hour, our VWAP is heading up, stochastic's heading up, our RSI is kind of curling away. Momentum's trying to come up, our money flow is barely bullish, so it looks like we could break down. 2 hour, our money flow tried to break bearish, however it rejected and has been increasing since then, so that's slightly positive. Our VWAP has been increasing, and our RSI is gaining strength. Our momentum looks like we could keep moving up, but it's kind of rounding out here. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic's starting to fall, RSI is trying to come up though, momentum's starting to come out, and money flow is starting to come out. VWAP looks like we could try to break bullish, but with that money flow coming out, I wouldn't bet too much on it. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.